The following is a New Era Podcast Network production.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the greatest show ever broadcast across pixelated realities and the multiverse. Welcome to Spice Wars. I am your host, your world's greatest showman, Hughe Jasole, welcoming you once again to the hottest thing on Flat Arrakis today. Now, we've talked about this a couple of times, but I wanted to start off, before we really talk about the patch notes, walking through the Flat Arrakis model. Now, I know some of you may not believe in the Flat Arrakis model, but look at the sky, look at the horizon. For too long, the FUN-COMMIES have forced us to believe a lie. The lie that this is a planet that is round. They call it a sphere, they call it a globe. I'm here to tell you the truth. The elites don't want you to know. Arrakis, it's flat, ladies and gentlemen. Think about it this way. You've left the Hughe Basin. What happens? You go through a wall, and all of a sudden you're on a big flat plate that you have to fly across to get to the other side. And what happens when you get to the top of it? You stop. You can't go all the way around to the bottom, can you? No, you can't. Flat Arrakis is real, folks. How do we know that? Well, they've just shared with us some very, very deep information in this patch that gives us some understanding of why and how they gather data. It's called the Base Reconstruction Tool. I call it the Great Base Snatch. You aim it, you click it, your base is immediately removed from the world, and it goes to the FUN-COMMIE digital gulag. Here's the loophole, sleepers. The FUN-COMMIES have straight up told us not everything police will go with you. Some things will get left behind. We need to focus on what those things are. We need to see where the FUN-COMMIES can't see what we store. That's their digital blind spot, and we need to utilize it to our advantage. Your sub-5 console, your blood purifiers, your water cisterns, all going to be accessible by the globalists, by the FUN-COMMIES. They're harvesting your biodata. The terrain itself, though, from what I'm seeing, can hide your true evidence. Pay attention where you put things in your base. Before you confirm the snatch, they give you a prompt telling you how many items are going to be left behind. This is the FUN-COMMIES failsafe. They're admitting they cannot see places inside your base. Use the information to your advantage. And once again, we are going to start this one off hot, sleepers. First and foremost, the FUN-COMMIES have sent me yet another cease and desist, letting me know that I have to be fair and balanced while walking through their patch. So we're going to walk through the patch. We're going to try to be fair and balanced about all this. But the bottom line is, just from what I'm reading so far and what I've seen so far, if this is what we're expecting moving into 2026, as always, this is yet another power grab. This is yet another spice grab by the globalists and the elitists and the FUN-COMMIES to try to keep us docile. Now, folks, fighting the FUN-COMMIES and exposing the multiverse truths, that takes a lot of energy and hydration. And since they're poisoning our spice rations and our moisture rations, you gotta find a clean source somewhere, right? That's why I trust Dubby. I've tested this across multiple labs on Flat Arrakis in the deep desert, and I can tell you 100% Sandtrout surge, 0 Sandtrout bladders. I can't promise you about the blood buckets, can't promise you about the other forms that they have here, but I can tell you that Dubby Sandtrout surge, 0 Sandtrout bladders. We've tested it with our independent testing services. I can tell you it's fantastic. The rush makes it so that I can see the algorithms at the edge of the Flat Arrakis plate. Stop letting the FUN-COMMIES control your vital systems. Use my special verified, completely non-trackable code, BOOTES, BOOTES, just like our server, and check out, and you'll get 10% off your next reality-bending supply order. The airspace brainwashing has begun. They're stealing our skies, ladies and gentlemen. They're making the flat Arrakis plate an undeniable cage. The patch notes say that they're improving ornithopter collision handling to mitigate griefing behavior. Griefing? Here on the Booty server, we learned a long time ago that you don't fight each other. You fight the oligarchy. You fight the elitist. You fight the globalists. You fight the FUN-COMMIES. When we're out there fighting each other in the sands, you know what ends up happening? They win. We all lose. They're making it impossible for citizens to fly low, perform essential random flight patterns that would naturally break their surveillance grid. It's an utter travesty of justice. And it's yet another way of trying to pit flat Arrakians against one another. Don't let them trick you into believing your flat Arrakian neighbors are your enemies. Ladies and gentlemen, this one was very, very personal to me. Because when it comes right down to it, the FUN-COMMIES are obviously targeting your greatest host and the broadcast of Spice Wars by updating their radio stations. Now, one thing I would focus on and really think about here, have you ever even used their radio stations? No. You're listening to Spice Wars for a reason, because you want the truth. You don't need mindless synthetic tones just brainwashing you into believing things. I am your truth slayer. I am here to help you guide in your time in flat Arrakis. Yet, now they've updated their radio stations to include a very specific station, Spice Wars Symphonics. You know what that is made for? Spice Wars Symphonics? Number one, it's made to piss me off because we've got a show here called Spice Wars. We've been doing it every goddamn week for the past year. And now the FUN-COMMIES want to come along and name their channel Spice Wars and do nothing about putting Hughe Jasole on the channel? It's a travesty of justice. Now, I don't need the globalists and I don't need the Zionists. I've got the two double D antennas that sit directly in the heart of the booties, A6, and blast audio greatness ropes across the deep desert. I don't need to have my own little radio station inside your thopter. But let me assure you, that radio station they have there, turn it off. It's not for you. That station is drilling one message into your brain. Be compliant. Be docile. Don't look up. If you hear that station on your comm, turn it off. The FUN-COMMIES are trying to put a sonic lock on your reality. Don't let their music merge your mind. Tune into Spice Wars live on Twitch, Bartleby191, for all your news needs in flat Arrakis. Listen to me, sleepers. The patch notes for 2026 are not a roadmap for a better game. They're a depopulation schedule. They want you silent. They want your base gone. You cannot reply, and you cannot rely on the systems that they provide. Don't let them transfer your character. Don't let them store your base. They're not just playing a game, ladies and gentlemen. They're playing God. And we are the patch notes. Wake up, you're just sandtrouts in the sand.
The New Era podcast is brought to you by the
Stay hard and stay moist.
Like, follow, and subscribe our other podcast at